Hello and welcome to another full scope timeline. Just had some problems with my setup. Couldn't get the camera to work. Well, I wasn't expecting to be back quite so soon, but I've got a lot to do. There's a backfile, I suppose you'd call it that, I want to go through in no particular order. And then the theme of this hangout will be denial, deceit, delusion. The phrase Colin Flaherty knows well. The reason for this is I've just the misnamed Centre for Women's Justice on Wednesday the 17th of February held a Zoom meeting which I logged on to, and they really are so far off the planet. It just the title of it was, here we are, if I can open the PDF, Women Who Kill, How the State Criminalises Women We Might Otherwise Be Burying. That is one hell of a piece of duplicitous semantics. Women who murder, and they're criminalised. So this is going to be fun. Well, it shouldn't be. You shouldn't be laughing really, because it's serious. And these demented hags have enormous influence. Anyway, to begin with, I'm going to go over various URLs and files I've saved over a period of weeks, actually, and stuff I found on my hard disk. Right, the first one concerns Julian Assange. Woman who accused Julian Assange of sexual assault claims he humiliated and abused her and denies she said it on behalf of the CIA in tell-all book. I haven't added Assange to the timeline. I almost certainly won't. Not because I don't believe he's any kind of rapist, and I don't believe that the CIA had anything to do with this. As I've said before, there are certain women are attracted to them, men in positions of power. Assange has been like a sort of Scarlet Pimpernel. He's handsome, he's over 40, he's still good looking. Well, he's got a bit mad now, unsurprisingly. He's got this sort of air about him, and he was he was a sort of that women chase, and he took advantage of that. He bedded two of them in Sweden, and I mean, the way he's been treated is absolutely appalling. My view is that one of the crimes he served ahead of it. I mean, I know he's bulky, he's lawyer in the Colombian embassy. He has served a heavy prison sentence. He's been on remand for a while, hasn't he? He's been totally. It's absolutely disgraceful, his treatment, but I just feel he doesn't belong on the full soap timeline. It was more how can I put it? It was more disinformation than a false rape allegation, but I probably won't be adding him. But whatever I think of him, whatever you think of him, whatever anybody thinks of him, the guy has been through hell, and I think Trump should have pardoned him on his way out. He didn't think he was going to lose the election, and of course he didn't lose the election. There's no way Biden got more votes than him, or more votes than Obama in his first term. The whole thing is America is a dictatorship now. America is almost lost. We should look to Russia as the new free world. I've got various things here. This just says for hangout. What's this say? Oh yes, this is OC Weekly. What's this? OC Week for hangout. What's this? Let's just do a search for the word rape. If I can. Oh yeah, this is OC Weekly. It's what is it? It's well, OC Weekly. I'm not sure where it comes from. Long Beach. So it's March. It's 2016. This is a letter for the average straight 42-year-old white guy married for a little less than a year. Second marriage for both. We have an active sex life. Are both GGG. I'm not quite sure what that means. I know what GOB means. I know what GIB means, but GGG. My wife wants to be forcibly fucked, held down and raped. Normally I'll be all over her. Normally I'll be all over this because I do love me some rough sex. My issue, she told me she was traumatically raped by a man she was dating prior to me. All I know is it involved a hotel room and him not stopping when she said no. So for now I play like, I mean, and there's another one here. Is that the answer? No, another one. I've given up on relationships after a failed marriage and another partner trying to kill me. No joke. Then after 5 years single abstinence and loneliness, I met a man who frustrated me, turned me on, and was understanding about my trust issues. And blah 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 blah. He also says he also needs to be able. He also has needs I'm not able to fulfill. It may not seem like a big deal to most people, but swallowing is out for me as I was already raped when I was a teenager. Man, stay away from women. Stay away from any woman who claims she was raped. Just stay away from her. If she wants rough sex, don't go along with it. Yeah, just this guy should have got. I mean, it's just. I don't know. This to me, this isn't sex. You know, it's. There's another one here. Oh, Houston Chronicle. Yes, I think I might have mentioned this before, but this is January 15th. I may have mentioned it last. I may have mentioned it last night. I'll mention it again. This is a woman who falsely accused Houston Detention Centre Court, Houston Detention Centre of rape employed to get a visa. I mean, they're just outrageous. These, I mean, all these women who claim to be sexually abused in claim asylum on the grounds of sexual abuse, almost all of them are lying. This is the rape claim was refuted, and then she claimed that she lied about the circumstances. She was raped somewhere else. No, I'm sorry. I mean, just. I'm not sure I added that to the timer outside, man. Let's have a look. I might have done. All these women, they're just damn liars. Every single one of them, and the lawyers are complicit in it. Yeah, I'm sure I've mentioned this one before. Houston, where is Houston all the time, man? this is well, it's the article's on the timeline. It's on the timeline at June the 1st, 2018. So that's when the rape didn't happen. What have we got here? Hackney. Yeah, this one. I'm not sure if I added this yet. Police drop case due to insufficient evidence. This is Hackney in Victoria Park, Hackney. Police say there's not enough evidence to continue investigating the rape of Victoria Park on Saturday afternoon and drop the case. No. The British police do not drop rape cases. They do not drop murder cases. They do not drop any serious case. Not of any liable offence. No. only if they don't think it happened. Only if they don't believe it happened. So this woman was just lying. I might put that on the timeline actually. Let's have a look. Hackney. Not many. Yes. I've only got 4 inches for Hackney. Yes, October 7th, 2018 is when it did. It's when this rape didn't happen. And that was the press of October 11th. So they're just lying. Is it lying or attention seeking? This is what I found today. This is absolutely. I haven't researched details of it, so I'm taking this as face value. This is from the Northampton Chronicle and Echo of February 20th. I'm making this on February 19th, by the way. It may not go out for a while. February the 18th, yesterday, which is why I've only just found it. Prisoner from Northampton forged email pretending to be raped. I get it right. Prisoner from Northampton forced. Third time lucky. Prisoner from Northampton forged email pretending to be rape accuser in bid to get case dropped. This isn't the first time I've seen this. There's at least one on the side, possibly two. I think the bloke's mother was complicit in it, but. Well, sorry, I keep yawning. I'm keeping. I don't know. I think go to bed till nearly 5, and I'll be working well after midnight. This is a bloke called James Kitely of Duston. Never heard of Duston. He was not prosecuted for alleged sex attack in May 2019 when the court concluded the claim would not lead to a conviction and was malicious and false. But that didn't stop the 26-year-old trying to take matters in his own hands and get the case dismissed. So I know. I'll look into this. I might even drop the guy a line actually. Could be fun. Dropping somebody a line. Where are we here? I've just dropped somebody else a line. Yes. The pigs squeal loudly. No, I said that wrong. The pigs make one of their own squeal. That's it. A bloke named Derek Seekings. A former police officer has last month, we were on trial last month, he was convicted, he was accused of raping, two accusations of rape, dating between 1994 and 2000. He's 66 years old. He was retired, retired a while. He was facing about seven charges. 7 charges at one point, and one of these rapes was meant to be committed in his lunch hour. So it doesn't take too much nous to suss who's meant to have raped. So this is another of those ludicrous domestic cases. I don't know. Bristol Post. Mother of 2 jailed for her. That's where the newspaper entry ends. Mother claimed a man raped her, sparking an attack that saw her boyfriend stabbed the alleged assailant 43 times. Has been sent to prison. I'll look into that. I'm not sure. I'm inclined not to believe this woman was raped, but she was found guilty of manslaughter, and the White Knight was found guilty of murder, given a tariff of 23 years. Don't White Knight. No. Call the police. That's what they're there for. One of the reasons. Hot for teacher. Yes, Cassandra Sorensen Grohl in apparently Milwaukee. She had a sexual relationship with a 15-year-old student. A nightmare began on Monday in a courtroom holding cell. When she started a 4-year prison. Well, when I was 15, if one of my teachers had come on to me, there were a couple I would have bedded. Definitely. These cases are ridiculous. It isn't the same as a male teacher grooming a girl. It isn't the same at all. No, that's ridiculous. That's the kind of sex equality even women could do without. Barbara Ross. What's this? Oh no, that's a different story at the top of the page. Police say a woman lied about rape. Police say a 22-year-old woman lied when she told police she was raped Tuesday at Muir Hampton Park. Woman had a personal reason why she didn't say this. Took place in the this is no longer. She claims she was raped, and then she's caught out and she claims to have been raped somewhere else. I don't know. There's another one here. An orthopedic surgeon at St Clair's Hospital faces criminal sexual contact charges for allegedly fondling a hospital employee. Jessie Seal from Mountain Lakes allegedly fondled a 22-year-old female employee. She says she reported to the hospital and staff alerted the police. I don't know. I mean, men and as well as women do sometimes go batshit crazy, but that's that. Absolutely all the current. Oh yes. Not sure if I mentioned this. Yeah, this is an American student newspaper or magazine. This black girl, Trinity Velasquez, Viewpoints editor. She's going on about false. This is about the Urino case, and it has to be seen to the level of race. She's speaking to Emmett Till. Emmett Till was murdered before I was born. Before her father was born. Possibly before her grandfather was born. No, I mean, just there has to be. It always has to be seen through the prism of race, and that way. I just. Two women plead guilty to kidnapping a child. Women plead guilty. Oh yes, that's Wilfred Wong. Yes. I think is it Wilfred Wong? Yeah. Well, Wilfred Wong isn't on the timeline, but I've mentioned him. I think I mentioned him. I'm sure I mentioned him in the hangout. I've written an article about him. He's a nutter. He's a bit like Christine. So a bit like Sabine McNeil, the tragic Sabine McNeil, only worse. Women's voices finally heard. This is in the wake of the Kavanagh case. I haven't put that on the on the timeline yet. Actually, the hashtag why I didn't report it began trending on Twitter even before Ford shared it. In case you don't know, Christine Blasey Ford is an absolute liar, and she made it all up. Her lawyer has as good as admitted that. I made a short video about that called I think it's good. Darlie Ford meets Christine Mutier, something like that. It's on some big shoot anyway. That's me here not added. Why is this not added? Oh, it's the same Barbara Ross thing. Not sure if I will add that actually. let's take it out and put it in my. Let's move it for a moment, and we'll see. Ooh, where are we? Senate pushed on sex abuse bill. In 2016, before his colleagues in the state's House of Representatives, Representative Mark Rossi, Democrat of Berks, I don't know, we were told that Al was raped in the shower by a priest at age 13. Do I believe it? I'll take a look at this. This is probably another attack on statutes of limitations, which should never be allowed. Never be allowed. It's outrageous. Brownlee. What have we got here? Brownlee says. Oh yes. This is what I found today. It's dated yesterday. A bloke from Brownlee named named Brownlee, Thomas Brownlee, arrested on August the 30th. Charges were dismissed January 12th based on electronic communication between Brownlee and the woman. The nature of the conversations is that she agreed to participate in what I would describe as a rape fantasy, Peterson said. Peterson is a detective, I think, isn't he? But whatever. No, she, Emily Peterson, a prosecutor, and it's stressing that rape, stressing that false rape reports are exceedingly rare. Peterson says, "Oh yeah, they're usually manifestations of something else going on in the alleged victim's life. Every time. Yeah, women are never culpable. Never." Another one here. This is that's Barbara Ross again. That's it's an article about a woman. It's a crime column or something, and there's it's this woman named Barbara Ross at the top. Nothing to do with raping. Right, what have I got there here? Oh yeah. Right, let's get on to the main subject. The hangout. Well, I just mentioned I've been quite active recently. You'll find on BitChute. I'm using BitChute now because I've been shadow banned to death on YouTube. Yes, you'll find on BitChute. I've uploaded 2 new videos this month. One at the top of the page is unrelated. The first one was called "The False Rape Timeline Calls Out Ocasio-Cortez." If you haven't seen that photogenic but moronic woman, she made an hour and a half long Instagram video about the so-called insurgency at Washington. She's surrounded by white supremacists, and she really damsels it. I'm a survivor of sexual assault. No, you're not. So anyway, the false rape timeline calls her out. If you really were raped, and she says survivor, so it means, for me that means she claims she was forcibly raped. I mean, as a woman, and indeed as a congresswoman, you have a duty to name the person who did this. And she won't do it until the guy's dead because he didn't do it. Right. Coming on to oh yeah, how to murder a man and get away with it. This is related to let me just mention on the 17th, the Misnamed Centre for Women's Justice held this Zoom meeting, and it showed that it was the release of a publication called Women Who Kill. You'll find I've uploaded this to the Internet Archive, but you can download it from their website in any case. Women Who Kill: How the State Criminalises Women Might Otherwise Be Burying, and it was absolutely outrageous. The speakers include Sally Challen, a victim, a survivor of domestic abuse, Harriet Wistrick, Julie Bindle, lover didn't appear there, Pragna Patel was there. It's absolutely outrageous. Elizabeth Sheehy appeared. This is the, if you're not familiar with it, check out my article In Denial of Female Evil. Basically, with second wave feminism, the idea came about that women are never responsible, they have no agency with their bad acts. And third wave feminism, it's even worse. Anytime a woman does something bad, it's a man's fault. Anytime. If you think that's an exaggeration, check out the article that feminist Phyllis Chesler published in a referee journal, an academic journal, an article literally in defence of Aileen Wuornos. And if you haven't heard of Aileen Wuornos, look her up. She was a female serial killer. She murdered 7 men. She was tried for 6 murders. And Chesler actually blames men for all her murders. It's absolutely ridiculous. The Canada's most hated woman is Karla Homolka. Look up her crimes. There's a very good film about dramatisation called Karla, which it's one of these stories you know, if you submitted it to a Hollywood producer and say you can't, there's no way you can we can make a film with that, nobody would believe it. Karla Homolka married serial rapist Paul Bernardo, and if you believe Bernardo, and I'm inclined to, outdid him in the depravity stakes, because it was she rather than he who murdered those 2 teenage girls. And she got 12-year sentence, and some miserable wretch married her, and she's now a mother of 3. Women can do no wrong, ever, period. Naz Shah appeared at this meeting as well. If you're not familiar with Naz Shah, I got a bit. Been eating my favourite peanuts with coated with the peanuts coated with caramelised sesame seeds. Really lovely. But they do stick. I had a wisdom tooth extracted in December, and there's a bit of a cavity there. A cavity here as well. Naz Shah is a nasty piece of work. She's a Labour MP. She mentioned that she was shipped off to Pakistan, but I think she's had a forced marriage, an arranged marriage, and she claimed that she realised later that she was raped. But now this will illustrate not only how batshit crazy these women are, but don't rely on Wikipedia. Today, yesterday, back up a bit. Naz Shah's mother is Zoora Shah. The story you will read on Wikipedia, the story you will read in articles by or featuring Naz Shah, that a poor illiterate mother came over from Pakistan and was abused by a bloke who pimped her out, raped her consistently, and finally she killed her abuser. Zoora Shah was, and let me say, she was illiterate. She knew how to spell arsenic. She poisoned her. Muhammad Azam was. There was no angel. He got a 10-year sentence for dealing cocaine. It was. We got out in 5. While he was in prison, she tried to steal his house. She got. I think it was a Bala who posed as him. She would go on to falsely accuse Bala of rape. There's an entry for her on the timeline. I'm going to have to expand it. But I didn't realise at the time. I didn't realise until a few days ago that Muhammad Azam had actually been buried, and suspicious Muslims tend to be buried quickly, like Orthodox Jews. A suspicious pathologist or someone saw he died after eating the food, and there was maybe it was food poisoning. So it was food poisoning. Anyway, he was exhumed, and it's found that he'd been poisoned. Here's a report from April 1st, 1998. April Fool's Day. A Pakistani woman jailed for life for killing her lover with arsenic yesterday began an appeal against her conviction. In a case which campaigners claim is a major failure of justice, the Court of Appeal held Zoora Shah had suffered mental and sexual abuse by Muhammad Azam before she killed him in April 1992. Dozens of protesters chanted demands for Mrs. Shah's release outside the court in London. Do these women even know what they're chanting for? The Court of Appeal, his death was originally attributed to a heart attack, but after it was found in his body, after it was exhumed, when his wife had suspicions, he doesn't say that she suggests that Zoora Shah suggested the wife murdered him. But the Court of Appeal heard yesterday Mrs. Shah was ashamed of the relationship with Mr. Azam and feared revenge against her 3 grandchildren. The truth emerged. Edward Fitzgerald, QC for Mrs. Shah, said the doctors at the time of the trial found no evidence to support a defence of diminished responsibility. Did not have a full medical history. He said she suffered from depression. Well, I suffer from depression. Lots of people suffer from depression. This is a depressive world. Lots of wealthy people. It's a state of mind. It's part of the human condition. Mrs. Shah was in her mid-40s, wept as she told how she met Azam. So she actually testified. The court was told Mr. Azam was a drug dealer who beat Mrs. Shah when she returned from a trip to Pakistan without the drugs he was supposed to carry. He would hit me and pull my hair, she said. He took her to a graveyard with 2 of her children who died as babies were buried and forced her to have sex there. No. All this came out later. All this was invented later. And these bitches as good as admit it. Pragya Patel and Naz Shah, weeping story, lacrimosal story. This poor oppressed woman. Let me just read to you what the Court of Appeal said. Lord Justice Kennedy. This is poetry. This is poetry. This is right. Regina v. Zoora Shah, 1998. And what I tried to feed Lord Justice, I've appeared before Lord Justice Kennedy. It's a daunting winner. But this is, I mean, I've got to get over how this is going. And let me explain to you what is going on. Is Harriet Wistrick and Julie Bindel, they're finding these women, or these women are coming to have murdered men and been convicted, and then they go back and they claim that there's fresh psychiatric evidence. The poor dear was beaten, raped, yada yada yada, and she didn't tell the truth at the time because of her state of confusion. One of them, I think it was it's either Pragna Patel or Vera Baird. It was maybe Vera Baird who said at the meeting that when a woman is arrested, she should have, so you have victims advocates. There should be a victims advocate here. But it's just absolutely ludicrous. And look, what is outrageous is that lawyers are falling for this, and judges in Canada, police officers to some extent. Anyway, if you're tried on indictment in this country and elsewhere, on conviction of magistrates court for a trivial offence, you won't. If you're convicted in magistrates court, you have an automatic right of appeal. You don't even need proper grounds. You can just say the verdict was perverse against the weight of the evidence, and then there will be a full rehearing before a judge and 2 magistrates in the Crown Court. On conviction for conviction on indictment, you need to get leave. And then if you don't get the papers going to the High Court, to the Court of Appeal, and a judge goes to the papers. If the paper judge grants you leave, then you go to the appeal. If the paper judge says no, the application can be renewed to the full court. You go before 3 judges, 3 lords of appeal, lords justices of appeal, and or lady justices of appeal, and they either grant you leave or not. And if they grant you leave, you go back for a full hearing. Now, this applies to Britain and to elsewhere. I'll explain this in the video. You can check out the video. It's as I say, it's on BitChute. I'm going to put it on the Internet Archive at some point. You can't just submit fresh evidence per se, because, as I said before, many times, given enough time and resources, you can produce evidence that an innocent man was guilty and vice versa. In the Bill Cosby case, you had Gloria Allred. You had one accuser, and these women came out, and this hag Gloria Allred went around the media, who adduced all these damn liars, demented women, and that whore Janice Dickinson, and there's so many accusers. You people got thought all these women can't be lying. They did the same with Jimmy Savile. The big difference being that Savile was dead, and he's still dead. Check out my video on Jimmy Savile, by the way. The truth about Jimmy Savile, and follow the sources, and you'll be surprised just how weak the case against him really is. When after Hanratty was hanged for the murder of Michael Gregston, who also raped Valerie Story, a truly remarkable woman. Check out the way she suffered. After Hanratty was hanged, the odious Paul Foote went to Rill. Hanratty claimed to have had an alibi. Well, he had an alibi. He said he was in Liverpool. Police couldn't find any evidence there. So in the middle of his trial, he changed it to Rill. And actually called in his defence a landlady named Grace Jones, who claimed a bit. And we don't know how Hanratty had been to Rill at some point, and he tried to establish an alibi. Paul Foote found 10 or 11 people who claimed Hanratty was in Rill at the time of the A6 murder. So I mean, I'm not saying any of these people are lying, they're mistaken about dates or whatever. This happens all the time. It happens all the time. So you can't just appeal a conviction. Now, an appeal will be accepted due to 2 broad criteria. The fresh evidence will be a bit of an appeal according to 2 broad criteria. it must be, in the first place, evidence that was not available at the time, or evidence that was there's a reasonable explanation for it not having been adduced. Originally, this was this was a second appeal. So a second appeal would there would have been a referral to the Home Secretary under the Criminal Appeal Act 1968, but that was abolished when Jack Straw set up the Criminal Case Review Commission. Nice one, Jack. Really nice one. A typical example of fresh evidence is fresh forensic evidence. They actually had this with Hanratty's posthumous appeal. The exhibits from Valerie Store, from the murder, Valerie Story's knickers in particular, are being preserved. They're in a box, and this is the way people's double think is amazing. Hanratty's family, particularly his brother, when they heard about the exhibits being found and they were going to be tested, he said he'd like to win the lottery, and I think Michael Hanratty is his name. He said he literally like winning the lottery. So they took DNA samples from him, and I think his mother was still alive then. Back in, this would have been about 1999. His appeal was I think 2000. The indication was that the semen on Valerie Story's knickers was similar to Michael Hanratty's DNA. So they exhumed the body, and they did a full. They took. Well, the bottom line is that the DNA on Valerie Story's knickers matched the decomposed corpse of James Hanratty. So he's fucking guilty, as anyone who studied the case knew. Don't believe any flim flam about Hanratty being innocent, or Jeremy Bamber, or any of these other scumbags. Except Michael Stone. Check out my website. That's an absurd conviction. What Wistrick has done, it must be evidence. The second criterion is it must be evidence that's worthy of belief, it's capable of being believed. What Wistrick has done, she invents new psychiatric evidence. She gets her lover Julie Bindle to interview these women in prison who claim they were abused and raped. And there's actually two cases going to being appealed. Well, they've been appealed and they're set for retrial. One I can't name. I've been told by the Court of Appeal that there's a blockage on it, but there's a woman who stabbed her boyfriend and claimed that he was murdered by someone else. And there's Farrier Martin, who did the same thing. She murdered Carl Farrell, stabbed him through the heart, hid the knife, claimed he'd been attacked by an intruder. And she was convicted of murder, and now she's the victim. She's the victim. What's her name? Wistrick mentioned Martin here. Where are we? She mentioned Farrier Martin. Where are we? Yes. Another issue faced. This is from page 131 of the PDF page 131. I'm sure the actual page number. It's page 128, so it's 131st page of the document. Another issue faced particularly by women of Afro-Caribbean descent is the institutionalised racism within the police and the criminal justice agencies. Such women may be particularly reluctant to report to the police because of the resistance within their communities to over-policing and fear of social services intervention in their family life. Reporting domestic or sexual violence to the police will be seen as a betrayal from within the community. That is not my experience of black women. Very limited though it is. That is not my experience of black women. Farrier Martin, a young black working class woman from Liverpool who killed her abusive partner, hid the abuse even when attending hospital for injuries because she was afraid that social services would intervene in the case of her two small children. She hid the knife. She stabbed him through the heart. They hid the knife. And Carl Farrell is dead. And now he's been portrayed as the perpetrator. And Farrell arrested Martin as the victim. No! No! There's another case here. Where is it? A similar case of a black. I think if I got this right. Oh yeah, a similar situation. This is what page? This is earlier, page 72, PDF page 72. A similar situation occurred in one of the trial observations. A woman was accused of murdering her uncle and sexually abused her at age 9. She was required to give evidence over a period of 3 days. This included having to record a day in question in which she was raped by her abuser before she stabbed him in self-defence. Now, if this is the case I'm thinking of, it doesn't give the name. It doesn't give the name of the case here. You always the reference is this is note 71. Where's note 71? No, note 71 is just I'll get to it in a minute. Case monitoring 5. No details. And when you look up the details, I think this is the one. Where are we? If this is the one, it's yeah. This is from Kent Live. It's oh my god, what's happened there? Kent Live, yes, here we are. Drug addict stabbed her own uncle in chest and neck. I think that's the one. Because it's mentioned 27. You've got 27 years, and this woman got 27 years.
This man in a storage and sustained attack at his home. The old man had dollar who turns 30 today had been in financial difficulties and was a regular drug user. And she didn't do it alone. She was visiting with her cousin Aaron Walcott, left her ID behind. Walcott had previously found guilty of manslaughter, bringing a knife to the home, was jailed for 14 years. So it's a rare instance of a woman getting a heavier sentence than a man. Now it's claimed the court heard it was possible Mr. Edwards and Donovan had been having an adult sexual relationship, which may have caused resentment in the defendant. A pair of knickers, wig traces of both Mr. Edwards' DNA and Mr. Donovan's DNA were found on his pillow at his home in Lewisham. What's in Lewisham? I didn't realise that. I live in Bromley. It's a bit complicated, but I pay my rates to Bromley, but my postcode is Lewisham. I mean, there's a big difference. I don't even know how to have sex with your uncle, are you? Oh, it's a story about Michael Stone here. Story of a man behind children murders. No, it isn't him. Anyway, this woman now is being presented. She's murdered her uncle, and she's been raped and raped and raped all this time, and she goes. No, sorry, don't buy into that. This lengthy document has here Delusion from. I found this in the notes the other day. If this program will launch, security warning, allow. This is Time magazine. Why rape and trauma survivors had fragmented and incomplete memories. And this is an article by, get this, James Hopper and David Leasack, December 9th, 2014. This is this is in reaction to the ludicrous University of the UVA hoax, it's called. Hopper and Lisak. There's all this psycho babble about why women don't report, and when they do later, notice all this the prefrontal cortex is impaired, sometimes even reflexes are shut down by certain stress chemicals. Finally, it's only happens in rape cases, isn't it? Only in rape, only allegations of rape. Lisak, I've actually made a video about Hopper called "The Junk Science of Jim Hopper." After the Blasey Ford's case, he published a blog on Scientific American. Why can't Christine Blasey Ford remember how she got home? All this spurious science. And the reason she can't remember how she got home was she was never at the party. There was never any issue with Kavanaugh. Ali Alexander sussed her. His article, he did a vlog on YouTube which disappeared. He was setting up a new website, so check him out, Alexander. He's right on the money there. He says that what happens that Kavanaugh's chum Mark Judge published a book, probably highly exaggerated, and Blasey Ford obviously read that and embellished, created a story out of whole cloth and embellished on it for good measure. That's Jim Hopper. Check out the junk science of Jim Hopper. Lisak, he's a total arsehole. I'll just I've got a page on David Lisak on false rape allegations. There's a short clip here which I will play you. Play a bit of it because it's 4.5 minutes.
The issue of false allegations is it's a very controversial issue. There's a tremendous amount of sort of heat around this, and I think it's important to acknowledge that there's good reason for there to be concern about this, because being falsely accused of something is a terrible experience, and to be falsely accused of a sexual crime can be a catastrophic experience. So it's understandable that people have a great deal of concern about it. On the other hand, I think that concern has to be put in scale. We actually have a lot.
I'll go to the end here. This is unbelievable. This.
Because they can't answer those kinds of questions in that way. If you, so you arrive at a false conclusion, and so I think, if we're concerned about false allegations, in my experience, in the vast majority of cases, if there's a false report, it falls apart really quickly.
It falls apart really quickly. I'll give you some examples on this page. Alice in Welfare and Christopher Wheeler. That is a dedicated false allegation. That's outrageous. That was just down the road from us in Peckham. Kathleen Crowell and Gary Dobson. Bianca Piguero and William McCaffrey. He would still be in prison now if she hadn't converted to Catholicism. Rhiannon Brooker. Outrageous. And these bitches at Women Against Rape supported her. Roy Burnett served 14 years in prison for a false rape allegation. Admittedly, he had two previous convictions for indecent assault. It was a bit of a he was in the database, and but the way where the truth came out the police and the legal authorities generally acted with commendable and uncharacteristic speed. In Wayman Camille, that's a very interesting one. That he was a deathbed confession there, and William Cicaldi was at a rape charge hanging over him for 10 months until a private investigator came good. So Lisak and Hopper is a scientist with real credentials, but he's a total arsehole. And these are the sort of men they're citing in these publications. They mention Emma Humphries. So you don't get a very, very brief mention of Emma Humphries. Just a one mention, yeah. Emma Humphries was their star catch. There's a page on the Full Strike timeline dedicated to her. There's an article about her as well, the canonisation of Emma Humphries. She was a juvenile delinquent turned prostitute, probably a psychopath as well, false rape accuser, became a junkie, and she stabbed her lover through the heart as he was lying on the. I mean, it's just absolutely outrageous that the way, the spin they put on this, and the fact, the idea that anyone would be taken in by it. Incidentally, the Zoora Shah case. Now, this is where I'll mention Wikipedia. Zoora Shah case. I didn't realise that she had a second appeal, as it were. Tariff was a conviction was upheld, but a tariff was reduced from 20 years to 10 years, and the Lord Chief Justice appears to be fallen for this flim-flam. The police didn't. There was actually a few years ago a documentary about Zoora Shah on YouTube, but it appears it was removed some time ago. If you consult the YouTube entry for Naz Shah, where are we? Google. Let's Google Naz Shah. But the YouTube entry for Naz Shah. So now if you look at her mother. Zoora Shah. She was sent to Pakistan by her mother, Zoora Shah, to escape her mother's abusive partner. When she was 20, her mother was convicted of the murder of her partner, who sexually and physically abused her for over a decade and served 7 years in prison. No, more than 7 years. I corrected that on the notes page, and I've corrected many things on Wikipedia. Let's have a look at the history. Is that the one? Mother. Shah's mother served 12 years, not 7. She didn't kill her partner. She murdered her lover, a married man. She poisoned him with arsenic. And that was removed because apparently IMA, was it Waxhard? What does he call me? No, it's reliable source. Reliable source noticeable. Many sources seem to be things like what's that? Which have no relationship whatsoever to. Oh yes, it's what was the pamphlet from the David Webb archive, David Webb Virtual Archive. But for anything from this Alexander Baron or anything Jewish / Nazi related in general, it's a complete wackadoodle source. Well, how is it wackadoodle? The source I gave is the Court of Appeal. I did mention I was going to read from that judgment. This is where are we? Well, this is Zoora Shah again. Yeah, I was going to read this, but I got sort of sidetracked. Yeah, this is Lord Justice Kennedy. Reasonable explanation for failure to deduce. This is the so-called fresh evidence. We accept some. So they're trying to get a murder conviction reduced to manslaughter, to diminish responsibility. Diminished responsibility is a legal fiction. It was invented by Sidney Silverman and his gang when they mounted an attack on capital punishment, and they decided to use a salami technique. If you're not familiar with the salami technique, if you ask a man to give you a whole salami, he'll say no. But if you ask him for a piece at a time, he'll give it to you. And this is what they did. They chipped away at the death penalty. They got the death penalty for reduced to 6 types of murder, including murders of police officers in the course of duty, and eventually it was abolished entirely. So diminished responsibility is a legal fiction. It's like, your state of mind is you have some. You don't always have full control of your state of mind. I mean, if you put a dozen people in an elevator stuck for 12 or 14 hours, there'll be arguments break out and stuff. But it's only so far that this can be taken. Anyway, he says here, we accept that in some cases where the issue of diminished responsibility is not raised at the trial, the explanation may be found in the same medical condition which said an appeal to furnish the appellant with a defence. For example, in the recent case of Borthwick, 27th of October 1997, unreported, this court considered the possibility that the appellant, said to be a paranoid psychotic, may not have been able to give rational instructions as to the ways in which his defence was to be run. But that is not the case. Here, this is poetry. Here, Mr. Fitzgerald suggests that the appellant put forward a defence, which she now admits to have been a tissue of lies, because she wished to protect herself and especially her family from further shame and the risk of violence. We heard evidence from the appellant and from Dr. Lipsedge as to the importance of honour in the society from which the appellant springs, and as to the possibility of retaliatory violence. Up to a point, that is evidence which we accept, but only up to a point, because this appellant, as it seems to us, is an unusual woman. Her way of life had been such that there might not have been much left of her or to salvage, and she was certainly capable of striking out on her own when she thought it advisable to do so, even if it might be thought to bring shame on her or to expose her to the risk of retaliation. The forgery executed to obtain title and the false allegations of rape and theft made against Bala are but 2 examples of that. The nature of her defence at the trial, which involved an open attack on Bala and others, and a thinly veiled suggestion that the deceased's own widow might have been responsible for his death, is another example. So we find ourselves wholly unable to conclude that the appellant has put forward a reasonable explanation of what happened in the court below. I mean, just you never met such a clear-cut case of premeditated murder. Arsenic on the guy's food. Wasn't the first attempt, by the way. What really did disappoint me about this meeting is that Samira Ahmed. I thought initially Samira Ahmed was a sap, but she's obviously a true believer. I mean, it's just so. This is the bottom line. Anytime a woman kills a man, inflicts damage on a man, it's his fault or some other man's fault. Always they're looking for, anytime a woman attacks a man, or it doesn't have to be, it could be something else. It's always, if it's theft even, it's a man's fault, men's fault. Rape. We've only got not that many mentions of rape here. Yes, it was historic abuse. The literature on women who kill abusive partners suggests that a significant proportion have experienced historic abuse from family members of previous partners. The women included in this study are no different. The women in 19 of the 23 domestic homicide cases reviewed had experienced historic abuse from perpetrator other than the man who was killed. So they can't blame it on the guy they killed. It's someone else. It's probably less of a in another case, a woman who killed a family member was sexually abused as a child and raped for the day of the killing. That's the that's the drug addict from who murdered the guy in Lewisham. Just absolutely outrageous. And Sally Challen also gives. She's presented here as a victim. There's a note here for a lawyer. This woman was in her 60s, had been raped by an adult male son numerous occasions, and she killed him. This is a hugely sensitive experience to talk about, involving a lot of trauma. She clearly felt a lot of shame. It's not surprising she didn't want to disclose this to a man with an understanding of Vogue, violence against women and girls. White male solicitor in his early 60s. Lawyer interview 3. So, I mean, I really don't know these. As I said, denial, deceit, delusion. We need to put a stop. Police have to investigate thoroughly. I mean, there are horrible cases in which women and men don't get justice. But all these cases, men killed, and then later, or even at the time, allegations. I mean, if a woman is being abused, she should get out of a relationship. And there's everything is in a woman's favour now. You look at the family courts, especially in the United States and Canada, but also here. You got this ludicrous domestic violence, the Duluth model, which is complete junk. But there's absolutely no excuse for these premeditated murders, and for like the Farias and Martin. I hope that bitch's conviction is upheld. Well, it's a retrial, so I hope she's found guilty again. They shouldn't be restricting people. Shouldn't be allowed to do this. They should have a charity status with that, because this isn't charity. This is outrageous. So anyway, have a look when you go to timeline. Have a look at some of these cases like this. There's quite a few actually of women. So almost every time a woman murders a man, there's an allegation of sexual abuse, either against him or against someone else, and it's just absolutely ludicrous. Right, that's quite a long rant. I'll put this on the timeline, well, this month hopefully. No illustrations with it this time. I might hold a live hangout next month, depending on things. I might do it through Facebook, even from Zoom, but I want to see if I can guarantee at least half a dozen people to turn up. But having said that, there's quite a bit of feedback over the years, and other cases, people have sent me cases, and the news of timeline is getting around. I know Wikipedia knows all about me, but I know all about Wikipedia as well. So anyway, that's I think it's 48 or 49. I think it's 48, whatever. That's the latest hangout, and I will catch up with you again hopefully next month. Anyone has any queries or any information to send me, or donations, all welcome. I do try to reply promptly, as we're still locked down here, and because of my physical condition, this hand is, it's that accident is permanently. Well, no, that's another thing. But because of my physical condition, I tend to be home a lot, even without lockdown, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. I haven't heard from my correspondent Sean Coleman for a while. I hope he's alright. He said he was ill, but Sean, if you're watching this, drop me a line, fella. I hope you're alright. And hi to my correspondent in Australia, who sends me some useful material, to Jack Rebelado, and to everyone else.